Hello everyone, I am Deniz Beste Akdoğdu from Yıldırım University Cognitive Science Graduate Program. I will present you the study titled Investigation of the Relationship Between Individual Humor Styles Preferred in Humor Generation and Humor Appreciation. We use humor in our daily lives as a means of social interaction and coping mechanism. Also, some cognitive abilities are needed to appreciate and produce humor. Rod Martin and his colleagues developed a humor styles model where they group humor into four styles: affiliative, aggressive, self-defeating, and self-enhancing humor. These were determined based on two domains, which also have two dimensions: benign and detrimental motivation, and target to enhance the self and target to enhance relationships with the others. They also developed a humor styles questionnaire to assess these four humor styles, and this model is widely and mostly used in personality psychology, in fact. Besides research on humor generation, there have been some research on humor appreciation also. Most of them were neuroimaging studies, like Chenadal's study from 2018. It is the study that inspired the present study, in fact. Up to now, humor research mainly focused on one direction of humor, which is humor generation or humor appreciation. And the present study aims to fill the gap and take a little step further to answer the question: do individuals prefer the same humor style when generating and appreciating humor? We had 30 participants from our university. For assessment, for humor generation, we used the humor styles questionnaire by Martin et al. And for humor appreciation, we prepared 25 one-line sentences, 5 sentences for each humor style in a neutral condition. For this, we used internet resources and some stimuli from Chenadal's study. Examples for each humor style and their corresponding Cronbach's alpha values can be seen here. The experimental paradigm consists of two stages. First, the humor generation stage, where participants were asked to fulfill the humor styles questionnaire, and their humor generation scores were received for each humor style. As a second stage, they were asked to rate the funniness of the 25 one-liners, and their humor appreciation ratings were collected here. So what are the results? For humor generation, we see a ranking consistent with the previous studies, with affiliative humor in the first place, and only the means of aggressive and self-defeating humor generation were indifferent from each other. For humor appreciation, this time self-defeating humor has the highest rating. And based on gender, only significant difference belongs to aggressive humor generation, with males scoring higher than females. For humor appreciation, we see that females rated all humor styles higher than males. So to better understand the relationship between humor generation and humor appreciation, we investigated the maximum scores received in each. On the left table, you can see that 28 participants had their highest scores for humor generation in affiliative humor, and the columns show the corresponding maximum of them in humor appreciation. On the right, you see the other direction. This time there is a more diverse situation. And at the bottom, you see the corresponding percentages of number of individuals for the above tables. So, in this respect, we can define three congruencies. First is the total congruency, and we see that only 9 participants were total congruent in their preference of humor styles for humor generation and humor appreciation. We also see that 53% of participants were target congruent to enhance relationships with the others. And 63% were motivation congruent, which only belongs to benign motivation domain. So as a result, we see that people do not necessarily laugh at or appreciate humor styles they mostly generate. So, why do people prefer different humor styles? And how does becoming the subject or the receiver of humor changes our way of developing social interactions? Also, female and male differences should be further investigated. More studies and participants are needed to investigate this relationship between humor generation and appreciation for individuals. The most challenging part of the study was to find and select jokes based on the 4 humor styles. There should be some resources based on the models in the literature. Humor is a context and culture-dependent phenomena, and there are some similarities and differences between cultures. Our rankings were similar to that of Canadian, German, and Chinese cultures, and there are some differences and similarities between other cultures also, as you can see here. And in our assessment, humor generation depends on declaration and humor appreciation depends on reactive responses. If both could be dependent on reactive real-time responses and productions, it could be better. And the studies should be conducted in native language if possible. There are other questionnaires and models in literature. This could be also used in further studies. This is the end of our presentation. I would like to thank Dr. Funda Yıldırım for her supervision throughout the study. And I would like to welcome your questions or comments. Thank you.